Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand. It is Derby Day. It is the Manchester Derby at the Etihad. Manchester United in red play Manchester City in blue. On the other side of Manchester, it is a huge game. Manchester United go into this game the underdogs, but anything can happen in a derby. And it's a really important game for Manchester United. It's a super important game for Man City. It could go any way. I think there's a lot of people are nervous for this game, but get in the comments your initial thoughts and reactions. Are you up for it? Are you feeling nervous? Are you going to be watching it through your fingers? Let us know. We've got a great show coming up. I've got Faz and also Ricky calling in later when we get our exclusive team news. But Faz, welcome to the build-up show. It is Derby Day. Manchester City did beat us in our own backyard 3-0 earlier on this season. How important is it that Man United show some fight back to that and don't let City do the double?
Oh, listen, it's always a funny feeling when it's Derby Day, and it's whenever you play Liverpool, Arsenal or Man City, you know, these big teams, nothing else matters other than just winning. I don't care about injuries, form. It's the biggest of the biggest. It's the Manchester Derby. We decide if Manchester's red or blue. Well, it's obviously red anyways because they barely got any blue fans. But today's the day. Listen, we must. You know one thing, Pep Guardiola has been doing a lot of props for Manchester United players and Manchester United as a team, and it's a bit of mind game. He does that every season. He does that all the time, mind games, and Man United fans lap it up. But today, Eric Ten Hag said he can smell it. He feels excited. The players feel excited. I just hope it doesn't come back at our face. But we must win. It's a must win. We can't let them do it twice in a season.
No, it will. We were speaking before the show, and you said it's a must win, and I said, look, Faz, rarely any team in the world wins against Man City. Yeah. Never mind a team that's having a really poor season and is injury-ridden throughout the whole thing. I think to expect Manchester United to win this game is ridiculous. Like, we can't, like, the expectation, we just don't hold that power anymore. I wish we did. We used to go into this game the favourites. Now we're massively the underdogs. What we want, I think, is a team that fights, gives absolutely everything, and is set up in the right, correct way to have the best possible chance at beating Man City, because it's not impossible. Of course we can do it, but the odds are is that we're not going to win. Like, that's what the odds are. And we've got to pull something off really magnificent to get the points here. I mean, Manchester City are deep into a title race. We need to win this game. Like, Man United have got injuries throughout the whole team. Like, we've not even got a striker, for God's sake. Like, it is. The odds are not in your favour.
Absolutely
not. Games, odds are ever in your favour. The odds are not in our favour. But what we want to see is us set up the right way. And Faz, what I've been speaking about so far is that, you know, if we play the way we have in previous weeks, where teams are having multiple shots, ridiculous amount of shots on us, Man City have the players that are going to put us away. Like, it could be silly numbers. So how would you want Man United to approach this game? I think,
like everybody would think, the most common sense would be is not to take the game to them and to sit back and counter Manchester City whenever you get a chance. I don't know if Harry Maguire is available to play today or who's going to be in our centre-back partnership, but whoever it is, just, you know, the key players, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland, man-mark them, double up on them, make sure they don't get any space. Make sure they don't they're not roaming around when they don't have the ball. Just freely, just stick a man on each of those players and lock it up, basically, just like you did against Liverpool. That would be the best thing to do. And, you know, we're getting the odd goal from set piece. We're getting the odd goal from a cross from Bruno to Casemiro, or just like a deflection or something. Maybe we could nick a goal later on in the game. Biggest concern is I feel like in the first leg that we played Manchester City, the first half we were doing okay. It's the second half when, excuse my French, but shit hit the fan. Let's try and make sure we can do what we did the first leg for the first half, this time for both halves, and we don't make any silly substitutions, any silly tactical decisions. Start the game calm, you know, relaxed, just lock it up and make sure you don't have any lapse of concentration. Just be fully focused, and maybe in the dying moments of the game we can possibly get one goal from somewhere, and I'd be more than happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually going to this slightly more positive, thinking we could potentially achieve a draw. I don't know why, I just don't see us scoring like much at all. I think Rashford's probably our only outlet, our only hope, maybe Casemiro for set piece, but we don't take our chance enough, I feel like, for us to get a goal against City. But one thing we have to do is show up shop. Like, be defensively solid. If you park the bus, park the bus. I don't care. I understand the circumstances. We're not in a situation where we can go toe-to-toe with City. Just make sure that you do your defensive work, and the whole team has to put in the work. You can't have one person not doing the work. You can't have one person not doing the running, because it'll affect the whole team. Everybody's got to do it. The
thing is, Beth, not every game can you play this attacking football. Some games you'll have to lock it up. And I'm not upset at Eric or Manchester United if we're not playing pressing football today. Today is about winning. Like, that's what I say. Certain games, it's about winning. It doesn't matter if you win dirty, if you win ugly. And I say to all the fans out there watching, why is it so important that we win today? I look at the league in a very different format than many fans do. Look at Spurs, they're 6 points ahead of us. Villa, then look at the teams that are chasing just the position that we're in behind us. I think it's about 4 teams that are chasing the position that we're in. And we have to chase Villa and Spurs as well. If we don't manage to keep up with the pace of the league, we can't be hoping for other teams to be dropping points.
Well, Spurs and Aston Villa both won this weekend as well, so it adds even more pressure.
Right. On top of that, they play each other, right? Is it next week, if I'm not mistaken? I
think so, yeah.
If they play each other, let's say they draw, they're still in a better position than us. If Spurs win, we're in a deeper shit. And if Villa win, we're in even deeper shit, because Villa keep climbing up and up and up. So we really need to somehow grab 3 points today, just so we can keep up. This coefficient points, I don't know if...
I'm not going to lie, I would so take a point.
I would take it, but I'm saying the importance of the 3 point, not just because of the derby, but I know the other games people have said this is a cup final against Luton, against Fulham, this is an important game, but the way the table is shaping out, the way Wolves and Newcastle and all these other teams are, slowly creeping in, if we don't start collecting 3 points in this pace, it's going to be a big problem. I know there are loads of games to play, but I don't like leaving it to the last minute. Let's keep on track with this. I just really hope. I know people are deflated, like, oh, we're going to lose, whatever. But you want to use that as motivation and say, you know what, let's keep the momentum, let's keep the pace.
Well, everybody who's joining the build-up show now, it is the Derby build-up show. We have me, we have Faz, we have Ricky calling in, we have exclusive team news later. Make sure you stay tuned and make sure you're getting all your super chats. I want to know, is there any Manchester United players that get into a Man City, Man United combined 11? Let me know that. Let me know your predictions, any hot takes going into the game, anything that you'd add into the lineup that hasn't really been said. Let me know all of your comments. Let me and Faz know, and anything you want us to talk about, super chat it in, and you can kind of direct where the show goes to. We obviously have a plan for it, but let us know, because it's all about the community on days like this. But let's start off with a poll in the chat as well. Let's do a poll of, will Manchester United win the game? I want to see how positive the community is. So we'll do win, draw, loss. See how you guys are feeling. I'm not going to lie, Faz, all week I've been thinking, oh, we're going to get battered or it's going to be a loss. And then, I don't know why, but it's like, as it creeps around, a little bit of hope starts to kick in. And I was thinking this morning, well, if we do park the bus like we did at Anfield, maybe we can nick like a 1-0. Maybe we can potentially get a 0-0 or a 1-0, which I would snap your hand off, to be fair. But it also could go the complete opposite direction, a slight lapse of concentration, anything, and Man United could be in the mud, as we say. And do you know what it is, Faz, as well? It's the mentality. Like, how do we come back from a setback? Last season, when we beat Man City here, one of our best wins, 2-1, at Old Trafford, we went 1-0 down. You had the Old Trafford crowd behind us, of course you did, but the players came back from that. But so many times mentally this season, you've seen the players check out. Yeah, I can understand, but we've also been getting some late goals this season, which is nice to see. I mean, in terms of, it gives you that feeling that we're still going to be able to get something out of a game, even when we look like we're not performing well. Casemiro, McTominay, as much as a lot of people don't like them or don't want them in Manchester United, they've come clutch. They've come through clutch, and Bruno Fernandes's 100 crosses don't go through, but there'll be the one odd cross that does, and it'll end up winning you the game. So I think that's all I can rely on. The most important thing is understanding that Man City can attack you from anywhere. They will attack you from the left, the right, the middle, set piece, counter-attack. They'll keep the ball for absolutely ages. There's so many variations at which they can attack you. Like I said, we just need to make sure we constantly keep concentration. Fullbacks are being helped by their wingers.
midfielders are not willy-nilly pressing for absolute no reason. They're helping their other midfielders, and the midfielders are helping their defenders, put in some good tackles, and that's it. Just see the game out, and maybe in the end you can get something from I don't know, Harry Maguire, Casemiro, McTominay.
Lily says defence is poor, no structure in the midfield, no striker. Bruno and Rashford really out of form. It's not really a discussion. We will lose the game. Tamara Scholar, a member for 7 months. Remember when Ten Hag promised Old Trafford his team would fight City in the FA Cup final, and then they gave nothing? I don't trust them. Really interesting point. That was one that, that cup final was unforgivable, really. Nick Cantor said Beth is right. Nick, I appreciate your super chat as per usual. But Faz, let's talk about the team today, because we don't know how Man United are going to line up.
We don't. Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be the same lineup as last game, or do you expect to see, Amrabat as left back could be really tricky going into this game? I mean, they've got players that can absolutely punish.
Isn't it?
Foden, they have Doku, they have multiple players that can play that position, and we don't know what Pep's going to do. We know Grealish is out, but one thing that I wanted to say is, in terms of the lineup today, how would you line up for this game? And get in the comments your
okay, so as well. Some of the players that are starting by default, I think it's Rashford, Garnacho. Anthony, we don't have any options. Midfield, it's very easy. Bruno, Casemiro, Kobe Mino. And in the back line, I'm hoping Harry Maguire is available.
Oh, sorry, I've just it's just come out on Twitter from Simon Peach that Højlund and Martinez have arrived with Man United squad at the Etihad Stadium, but their involvement is unclear. I assume they're just watching the game.
No way.
But Højlund and Martinez have arrived with the Manchester United squad at the Etihad Stadium. I assume they are watching the game. I don't assume that they're back fit. Martinez definitely won't be. But Højlund, you never know. I mean, could you imagine if Højlund was back fit?
You
wouldn't start,
please.
would you? But
I don't know, because everybody drop prayer emoji in the chat because it's always these hope that kills. I hope he's fit enough to play. I don't know. I don't want to rush him as well, because there's small games to play. But Højlund against Haaland, Manchester City, man, I'd love to see that. Don't know. We'll see.
It's the hope that kills you. Imagine if Ten Hag could pull Rasmus out the bag. I don't think he'd start the game, but to bring him off the bench or something, if we were still in the game, it'd be huge for us. Yeah. Martinez, I assume 100% not, because he's injured for quite a while, isn't he? But the fact that with the squad, I mean, interesting. But get back onto your starting 11. How would you start? So
I was saying Rashford, Garnacho, Anthony. Anthony has a big game on today. He has to do something, because last time he scored against Man City, didn't he? Was it last season?
He was in the 6-3.
It was last season in the 6-3.
Yeah.
Bruno, Casemiro, Mino. Mino could help us as well. What a player he's been. Casemiro, what a player he's been. And in the back line, I would go with Dalot. I'd go with Maguire, Varane. Is Lindelof available?
Yeah, he is.
Then I'd play him left back.
So you would not have Amrabat in the team? Who would your front three be again?
Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho.
Okay.
No options, do I? I don't have any options.
Stuff. I tell you what I'd go with today, Faz, and get in the comments what you would go for. And I understand that lineup. I think that's what Ten Hag will go with, by the way. I would be super tempted to go with Onana in goal, obviously. Dalot, Varane, Evans, and Lindelof as the back four.
Interesting. Okay.
And then my midfield three: Casemiro, Amrabat, and Mainu. And then a front three of Rashford off the left, Garnacho off the right, and Bruno is playing as a false nine. That's what I'd be tempted to go for, because you get Bruno in the midfield. Like, as much as I do love the player, he is sometimes like a dog off a leash, and it creates gaps in there. You've got a midfield of Casemiro, Amrabat, and Mainu. It's compact. It does the defensive work. Then you allow Bruno that freedom. And I think he could do a job on Rodri in terms of pressing Rodri and cutting off his passing lanes, because that's huge. Like, Rodri starts everything for Man City. Obviously, they have Edison and the centre-backs who are great as well, but Rodri's so key for them. Bruno will do the work. And I think Rashford's a lot better off the left than he's up front, so why don't we just play to his strengths? Bruno, I think, can play that role. Obviously, it's not the best, but I'm trying to make something out of what we've got here. I thought Amrabat second half the other day as well. Not at full-back, I would never start in full-back against City, but in the midfield, I think he gives you a bit of something. he started at Anfield when we got that 0-0 as well, and was pretty okay in there. So that's what I'd be tempted to go for. Again,
that's not a bad shout at all.
It's makeshift.
It's not a bad shout at all. I'd be more than happy with that as well, because you're compacting the midfield where they have majority of the ball and where they have majority of the success as well. So no, it's a very, very fair lineup to go with. It's just, will Bruno Fernandes be able to maintain discipline when it comes to pressing? Because I get a lot of people say, you know, Bruno corrects other people's pressing actions, and he corrects other forwards being in awkward positions. It doesn't add up to me. All I see on the pitch, and everybody else sees it, is Bruno Fernandes running around without any of the other forwards supporting him in his press. So what happens is he runs to a player who passes to another player, and then he runs to them. He's just running around, chasing the ball constantly like a kid.
I get that. But him doing that in midfield makes it even worse. Even more gaps in midfield. That's why I've got the midfield of
it does.
You know, Cassie, Amrabat and Mainoo there. And also, let's be honest, Rashford's pressing up front is not good.
No.
So it's like, at least putting Rashford off the left, you've got something. Like, we know that's his best position. I think he's so much more likely to affect the game from that area.
Yeah.
I just think it makes us stronger in terms of a structural point of view as well. But get in the comments what you guys think as well. Pep Guardiola was full of praise actually for Bruno yesterday. And
I don't get why do you lot lap it up?
Some people think he's just gaslighting us. I think that's very far-fetched. But
he's
anyway,
definitely gaslighting.
Got some super chats in. Quinn Star says, if City and Arsenal win, I win £500 and it softens the blow. Quinn, you should never bet against your team. You should never bet against your team. But also, I kind of get it, because it's like, whichever way it goes, obviously you're going to be more gutted if United lose, but at least you get a bit of money out of it. Finley Carter says, worried for this game. Anything can happen, though. Exactly. That's what you've got to remember. Anything can happen. Get in your super chats. Let us know where you're watching the Manchester derby from as well, all across the world. Let us know these things. And, yeah, get your comments in. I can't wait to hear what Ricky's going to say. We could have some exclusive team news soon. As soon as I get anything through, I will update you guys. But obviously in my starting 11, Faz, I didn't put Anthony in. A lot of people saying that, oh wait, we've just got some breaking news here from Rob Dawson. Understand that neither Højlund or Martinez will be in the squad today, despite arriving at the Etihad Stadium earlier. Just a little bit of excitement there. Both of them still injured. It's unfortunate. We could definitely do with both of them players now, but yeah, still injured and not going to be part of the squad, just supporting the team. But we have some breaking news for you guys as well, coming from the United stand. And it is that Jonny Evans and Scott McTominay both start today's game for Manchester United. Jonny Evans and Scott McTominay both start today's games for Manchester United. Get in the comments what you think. I'm absolutely not surprised one bit of Jonny Evans. He should be starting in the defence with Varane, in my opinion. It's the best possible partnership we have at the minute. Fair enough to the guy, he's been great, you know, since he came in, considering what we thought he was going to do and the options we have. But also, Scott McTominay, that is the shock. I'm not against McTominay starting, by the way, because he's come up clutch in Manchester derby before. He has a goal in him, maybe he's starting him as a centre-forward. But what I thought Ten Hag was going to do is I thought he was going to use Scott McTominay from the bench, you know, as a little bit of a weapon to bring on. But let's get your immediate reactions, get your comments in. But Faz, what are your immediate reactions to our exclusive team news as Jonny Evans and Scott McTominay starting today? I
did not think at all he would be starting Scott McTominay. I thought he would have gone with Casemiro, Bruno and Kobe in the midfield. So where is Scott going to play? And if Scott is playing, does that mean Casemiro's not playing? Is he got a niggle or something?
I think I won't be surprised if Scott starts up front.
Oh my God.
Or, hear me out. Do you remember how I just said my team then? And I said Bruno false 9 and midfield 3 of Casemiro, Mainoo and Amrabat. Ten Hag might be doing that, but instead of Amrabat, he's playing McTominay, so he might do Casemiro, Mainoo, and McTominay, and he still might play Bruno as like a false 9, or he could even play Bruno off the right. That's happened before for Ten Hag. So these are with McTominay starting. Right. This is what I think could happen. We'll get the lineup very soon. I think there's 3 different scenarios. Either Scott McTominay is playing as a striker, which I think is unlikely, but it could happen. The second option is he's playing a midfield 3 of Casemiro, Mainu and McTominay, and playing Bruno as a false 9 and Rashford off the left and Garnacho off the right. The third option, which I think is the most likely and probably the least likely one I'd want, which if I'm thinking from Ten Hag's mind and what he's done before, I think he could be playing a midfield 3 of Casemiro, Mainu and McTominay, and Bruno off the right, Garnacho off the left and Rashford up front, potentially. But get in the comments what you guys think.
I think he's going to go with what you said in the midfield. I don't see him playing Scott McTominay as a striker. I think what he'll do is he'll play Casemiro, Kobe and Scott, and he'll end up playing Bruno Fernandes on the right with Rashford in the middle and Garnacho on the left, or something along those lines. But then, why would he play Bruno Fernandes on the right against Manchester City? That absolutely doesn't make sense. If you want that energy in the midfield, you have to keep Bruno Fernandes somewhere central. I don't know what he's cooking. I can't. It's made me a bit more excited to see the full lineup to understand what he's going to do and how he sets up the team. So, yeah, let's just see. But Johnny Evans is another interesting one as well. Does that mean Harry Maguire's not fit? Do we know anything about that? Any bit?
Maguire's not fit.
He's not available
for a few weeks. No, he's not available.
He was not going to be available. So it's going to be Johnny Evans. So I'm guessing it's going to be Lindelof on the left back, and then it's going to be Varane with him and Dalot. Am I upset about that back line? No. I think that that back line has a lot of experience in there. Varane and Lindelof together have had a good performance this season before, so I'm okay with that, I'll be honest. I'm okay. I think Johnny Evans will do a good job. I think he'll do a good job. He's been one of the signings this season that has taken everybody by a bit of surprise, hasn't he? Because everybody was like, Johnny's not going to play 5 games, let alone 10 or something. But he's played a good few games for Manchester United and he's done well so far. Varane again proved a lot of people wrong. A lot of people have been saying that Varane is so injury prone and can't play many games, but Varane's been the most available player out the lot. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And Dalot obviously okay, and Lindelof, I just don't know how he's going to do against Foden. That's going to be the interesting one.
The thing is, your options at left back is Lindelof or Amrabat right now. So, and you could play Dalot there, but he's been playing so well at right back, and then who do you play right back? It's like, you know what I mean? People can say Lindelof's going to struggle against Foden. Any top left back in the world will probably struggle against Foden. Like it's tough. It's tough, and we've got to put out a lineup. Karen Took the Kids, interesting name, said starting those two in this game isn't 4D chess, it's incompetence. Karen Took the Kids, who else would you play then? Because look at our injury list and look at our squad. Like, honestly, people are expecting to see some sort of unreal starting 11. Just look at the state of our squad and that injury list. MB Valent gifted a United Stand membership. Thank you very much for that. The Irish Zombie says, I would start Ahmad over Anthony. Faz, what are your thoughts on that?
People would always start someone who they haven't seen enough over someone that they've had enough of. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So there you go. This Ahmad thing that everybody does, I just want to see Ahmad get some minutes just to have a big sample and a big enough sample size. People are like, start him. You're saying that because you're sick of Anthony. That's why. I'm saying play Ahmad here and there and let him build up his minutes rather than just throwing him into a game.
Well, let's get a poll going because we know McTominay is starting this game. Who would you rather start for Manchester United, McTominay or Amrabat? Let's hear that poll, because I understand different sides of the coin. The reality is McTominay is won us games this season. If anyone deserves to be starting, realistically, over, I'm looking at them too. I think Amrabat maybe offers you more defensively, but Scott McTominay offers you more going forward.
I would say Scott, I just don't think Amrabat's adjusted to the league. I don't think Amrabat's been able to adapt to Manchester United well. He's had some good, okay performances, but Scott McTominay, funny enough, Scott McTominay is favoured by every manager that comes into Manchester United. So it clearly speaks volumes of him. And like I said before, he's grown on me as well, hasn't he?
I honestly think my opinion on Amrabat is he's not been given the opportunity to settle in. I do think there's a good player there. I still do.
You really think so?
I think there's a good player there. Yeah, he come into the team on pre-season, injured, no pre-season, didn't really get much opportunity. Was forced into the team when he was still not even fully fit as left back because we were injury ridden. Played games at full back, then was in and out, barely got time. Went to AFCON. I just think he's not had time to settle and adjust for the league. What I've seen of him in the United shirt hasn't been what I expected. I agree, he's been poor a lot, but I've seen glimpses. Who do I think is a better player at the moment. Like to start for Manchester United, McTominay, I'd go with McTominay too. But it's like in terms of what they can bring, like, who I think's better. But I do think Amrabat, in terms of people are really, really slating him, saying he's a really poor player. I just think he's not been given the opportunity. I do still think there's a decent player there. I don't think he's been handled well, to be honest. The City team is now out, so I'm going to go for that now. Who would you rather start? Get your comments in down below. So where can I find the City team, Greg, again?
Also, Lucas has put out that Mino set to come in. Yeah.
We'll get all that in now. So the Manchester City starting 11, who Manchester United will be facing, is Ederson in goal, a back four of Walker, Diaz, Stones and Ake. Then you've got Rodri, Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne in the midfield three, and a front three of Foden, Doku and Haaland. So it is the strongest possible Manchester City 11, which we'd always expect to see. So against the likes of Manchester United, it is a derby. It's a tough team. There's threats all over the pitch. It's going to be a really hard day, isn't it?
I want to see the graphics that come up. It helps me visualise my players as well.
Foden will probably be against Lindelof. I mean, Dalot's going to have a challenging day against Doku.
I think he'll be all right.
You think he will?
I think he'll be all right.
I hope he is. He's been really consistent.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
Doku's going to be tough. Doku's going to be tough for him to lock down.
Is he the toughest player that Dalot has faced? I don't think so.
No, but...
Oh, I'm going to get clipped up.
He's a really tough player to go against.
I'm going to get absolutely flogged now. Dalot, please don't drop a stinker. Please. Oh. No, I think he'll be fine. I have faith in Dalot. I think he'll be just fine. He'll be just fine. It's the other side, Foden against Lindelof, that I'm worried about more. Do
you know what I can't believe in our poll? Who would you rather start?
Amrabat winning,
Amrabat or McTominay. 61% say Amrabat over McTominay. McTominay's won us 12 points this season. I mean, I get over 90 minutes, McTominay, it wouldn't be my starting 11 either if you have a full-strength team, but, you know, this is a derby. One thing you can say about McTominay is, I'm not saying Amrabat doesn't, because I still, like I said, think Amrabat has been a bit hard done to, but he will give you everything. And he does come up clutch moments. He is like, you know, he's United through and through. He knows what it's about. So it's like, I mean, I'm surprised, but the chat has spoken. Fair enough to you guys. Amrabat did have a good second half the other day. Do you want 34 says, I'm ready for any result, not going to be mad. Ross Regay says, new deal for Evans or Varane, both or neither. I mean, Faz, would you give a new deal to either?
New deal for Evans or Varane?
Because obviously both expire in the summer. Would you give a new deal to either of them?
Does Varane has a +1 left though?
He does, but the rumour is he's going to leave in the summer.
If any centre back needs to stay this summer, it's Varane. I would do the +1 and keep him and see what we do from there. Evans, I don't know, because you're just having an aging centre back partnership then. I was thinking of cashing in from Lindelof and Maguire and go and getting 2 centre-backs, or at least 1 centre-back. That would be the smarter thing to do, in my opinion. We need to get some new young centre-backs in and faster centre-backs in. And Varane and Maguire and Lindelof are the only 2 players that we could get some good money for. It also depends how much money we can raise for Varane. If Saudi come in or you know, another team comes in and offers us a decent amount of money for Varane, then I'd be open to it. I'd be definitely open to it. But I think if I was gonna keep a centre back out of all of them, it would have been Varane I would have kept.
Well, Varane actually, I know he has been injury prone in the past, but he's been actually pretty consistently available recently.
Yeah.
And this season, to be
fair, he's been the least injured.
He's been our most consistent centre back, I would say.
Yeah.
And I really do love the player. I do think he'll move on, but I do love the player, and hopefully he turns up today. I like the partnership of Varane and Evans, to be honest with you. That's where we're at though as United fans right now. Like, you know, he's probably been, you know, he's been a good centre back pairing for us in terms of all the different matchups we've had. Yeah,
he's been the one constant in all the centre back partnerships. You work with any centre-back partnership, he's been the one consistent performer. So why am I going to sell him unless I'm getting some decent money?
But I think Varane is going to end up going on a free. I really do think that. But anyway, I'm sorry, but if Bruno does start as a false 9, I am absolutely clear, because I've been saying it all week. Ten Hag does listen to me. Anana, Mount, I'm joking. I'm joking. We don't know yet, obviously. We don't know anything. But as soon as we get anything, we will bring it to you guys. One one person I'd love to be in the starting 11 today, I'm not going to lie to you, who we don't have anymore, is Pastor Fred. He always brought it on a derby day. Can we have a loan from Fenerbahce back to United for games like this? You know, someone to lock down Kevin De Bruyne, because, you know, you cut off the supply to Haaland. Yeah. You know, Haaland's absolutely lethal, but cut off the supply, what's he got to work with? De Bruyne is who you need to lock down.
Bernardo Silva as well.
Yeah, Fred's done that for us in the past. I would have thought that Mount is probably the closest thing to that for us. But Mount's not been available, but how much is Fred amiss today, really?
I don't even want to get into that and get sentimental, because when
also Ander Herrera's another one of them players as well.
Yeah. When Fred was here, a lot of people obviously cussed him out and you know, they constantly had issues with him. But yeah, I did want to ask though quickly to you, to Ricky.
Wait, he's not coming in yet.
Oh, okay, no, not yet. But if and when he comes in, but to everybody watching, right? If you had the power to bring one Manchester United player back in their prime to play today, who would it be?
Rooney,
okay. I went with Roy Keane.
Understandable. They're my two options.
Yeah, Roy Keane. I'd love to know who Ricky would say. Ricky would probably say Martial.
I've got the starting 11, everyone. I've got the starting 11, everyone. I honestly think Bruno's going to play as a false 9. If he does, me and Ten Hag are on the same level.
Okay. Which is not a good thing, because look at our season turning out.
The starting 11 is Onana in goal, a back four of Dalot, Varane, Lindelof and Evans. So obviously it'll be Varane and Evans as centre-back partnership, Lindelof as left-back. You have a midfield of Casemiro, Mainu and McTominay, and a front three of Fernandes, Garnacho and Rashford. So either everyone, Fernandes is going to play on the right wing or he's going to play as a false 9. I personally think he should play as a false 9 because I think Garnacho off the right, he's better, like he's been better there this season, and I think Rashford off the left, you get more of Rashford off the left. But let me know in the comments, will it be Rashford at right wing or not Rashford at right wing? Will it be Bruno at right wing or Bruno at centre forward? Just go through the lineup one more time. Onana in goal. You have a back four of Dalot, Varane, Evans and Lindelof, Casemiro, Mainu, McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, Alejandro Garnacho and Marcus Rashford. Get in the comments what we are thinking about that. Faz, initial reactions, then I'm going to bring Ricky in.
Initial reaction, I'm just looking at the graphic for the lineup, and I'm really not happy with Bruno Fernandes being on the right wing. Really not happy. We've seen this before and it doesn't work. It's just a failed experiment again and again that we keep doing, and if we use him on the right hand side, it's just almost being like two-man down, because at least he would have brought the energy in the midfield where we could have contained and blocked some other passing lanes. With him being on the right wing, he's naturally going to drift into the middle, and when he does that, he's going to leave one side fully blank. I don't like it at all. He's not got a natural partnership with Dalot, you know, as well. I'm not fancying this at all now. It's really upset me.
Well, you don't know if it's going to be right wing or not. We don't know yet until they line up. But
I would have, yeah, true. Let's see.
But let's bring the Godfather in. Ricky is joining us. Ricky, can you hear me?
I can, Beth.
And you know what the team is as well?
Yeah, I've just heard you announce the team. Yeah.
Perfect. So, what are your initial thoughts on the team and the way that Ten Hag's decided to line up today?
I'm pretty pleased with it. All week I've been seeing people making predictions about the back four and who's going to play in the back four, and I'm not seeing a single person mention Johnny Evans, and I really thought that Johnny Evans would play today, and he is playing. It makes us stronger. People don't need to come back after and say we got beat 4-0. Why was Johnny Evans playing? That can easily happen. If this is Manchester City, who on their day can put 4, 5 or 6 past absolutely anybody. Didn't they put 5 or 6 past Bayern Munich in the Champions League last year or something like that? So
they put 6 past us.
Yeah, they put 6 past us. So even if it goes badly wrong, it's not, it could have gone badly wrong anyway. So getting the excuses in straight away. But I'm dead pleased that I think it's the best back four, which is important that we could pick. And I'm glad that he's got 3 midfield players in. I don't agree that Bruno should be in the 3. Because he just gets forward too much, and those 3 will stay back more. So I'm pleased with the midfield as well. And then your question, you've been discussing whether Bruno will be a false nine or wide right. I'm sure he'll be wide right. I'm sure he will. He's been wide right plenty of times when we've had to make the midfield a bit more solid. It happened a couple of times with Weghorst last year. He played at 10, and Bruno played wide on the right. I'm pretty sure he'll be. I'll be amazed if it's not that way round.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's going to be the most likely option. I don't agree with that. I'd rather him be playing as a false nine, Rashford off the left and Garnacho on the right. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how he lines up. I agree with you, though. I think the most likely option is Ten Hag goes with that. He's stubborn with that, isn't he?
Yeah. He is pretty stubborn with it. But now I think actually, I was just thinking of between Bruno and Rashford on the right. But since you've just said Garnacho could play on the right and Rashford off the left, where he has been a little bit better recently, that gives me I didn't even think of it that way round, Beth. So, it might just be like that. Bruno was a false nine, and because I like Garnacho on the right, and obviously Rashford's he's a lot better on the left than he is at number 9. So you might have made a good point there that even I didn't think of.
I hope so. Well, Ricky, I've been saying it all week on the United stand, so you've not been tuning in. Joking. No, I mean, I hope so. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to let Faz ask you a question in a second, but I just want to ask you, first of all, how you're feeling, and second of all, what are your expectations? Are you nervous? I mean, what do you think Man United can get out of this game?
I'm really nervous. I'll be watching the clock from the first minute to the last. Well, I'll say till the last one. I'll probably stop watching the clock if we go 2-0 down. I will be wishing the minutes away. I'll be biting my nails. Obviously I don't fancy us, but I do think, as near as damn it, he's picked a team that gives us our best chance. I think I'm happy with the back four. I'm happy with the midfield three. And I don't think we've got a lot of options up front, have we? So that's a difficult one to sort of suggest that it should be anything else.
Does the way that we've gone with the midfield that obviously you would have wanted, with 3 midfielders that are hopefully going to get behind the ball and kind of be a bit more disciplined in terms of Casemiro, McTominay and Mainu, when you're looking at that midfield, does it give you the sense that we're going to approach the game similar to we did in Anfield away, where we did approach it in a way to basically, shut Liverpool down?
Absolutely. And what happened at Anfield, obviously Bruno was suspended. So we'll never know now whether he would have gone in this fashion, in that game had Bruno not have been suspended. But I'm over the moon that he has decided to pick 3 midfield players, not including Bruno. I'm absolutely over the moon with that. So fingers crossed. Unless
McTominay plays up front, and then it might be Bruno in the midfield. Who knows?
yeah, possibly. That's something else that people have been talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, I doubt it, but I'll bring some super chats in and then I'll send you over to Faz. So the Irish Zombie says, more goals in Ahmad than a one-dimensional spinner. AJ Spriv says, I would start Wan-Bissaka right back and Dowell left back. Wan-Bissaka's injured. And NBA Valentine says, good afternoon, guys. You look great. Thank you so much for your super chat. Wherever you're watching the game, hope you enjoy it. 5 Cantonaz says, Brentford would have took a point last week for that guy not slipping. If we set up like that to frustrate with dangerous counter, we have a slim chance. You're absolutely right in that. We've got another super chat in from Do You Want 34. I'm ready for any result, not going to be mad. Thank you everyone for your super chats. And Kirian says, play McTominay as a striker, Bruno Cam, or even 3-5-2 may do it. So thank you for your super chats. Get your opinions in. But Faz, have you got anything you want to ask Ricky?
Yeah, I wanted to discuss with Ricky. Obviously, I've been saying no matter what the team is, and how people are feeling down about the game. For me, I've been saying it's a must-win game for Manchester United. Looking at how other teams are performing in the league, and the teams behind us trying to catch us, and the teams above us that we're trying to catch. So if we don't win today, I don't think top 4 is at all possible. Do you see, now that you've had your favourite starting, Evans, McTominay, right? They're both starting. You're happy with the midfield. Do you think Man United somehow can nick a goal at the last stages of the game? Because I don't see how Man United are able to create anything with this sort of formation and lineup. Some people are saying play 3 at the back, 5 in the middle. I don't see us being able to even create a chance. Do you?
Yeah, I'll be amazed if we don't create at least one chance in the game. But at the end of the game, you'll be able to obviously discuss it and look back and say such a body should have scored, or the keeper made a good save. So it's a case of if we take that chance, I don't know who's going to create that chance, you know, and I don't know who's going to score it or miss it. But I'll be amazed if we don't get a chance. That's how football tends to go when you've got, you know, an half decent team. So I think the way that he's set up is the best that he can do with what he's got available. A really, really defensive-looking outfit that have got a little bit of pace on the break with Rashford and Garnacho. I don't think they're quite as quick as some people think they are, by the way. You know, Kyle Walker might show you that today. So, you know, a little bit of pace on the break. I do think that we are capable of nicking a goal. There's no good nicking a goal if you're 4-0 down, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So, you know,
I wanted to ask you as well. Oh, sorry, your line's. I wanted to ask you as well. I don't know if you've read the piece from Rashford, have you?
Yes, I have, yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts on what he's put out there?
I wish he hadn't put it out there. I said this on the show the other night. It's well written. You know, I don't know whether he's written it or whether they're all his own words. And it tugs at your heartstrings now and then. But I just think it looks like a sympathy vote to me, and I wish he hadn't done it, to be honest.
It's a big performance day for him today, isn't it?
It's big, and I think the best way you get one of the best opportunities United have to score a goal today. I've said this. Obviously, a set piece. We've got Casemiro, who's quite good off set pieces. Johnny Evans even looked dangerous off set pieces before. I think Rashford. This is why I hope he's on the left. I don't think he will be, but with his pace and when he can turn it on, and especially when, you know, he's just put out that piece midweek, I think that's the best outlet we have. So, I mean, I hope so much that he goes out there and scores a goal today, but we'll have to wait and see. It's easier said than done, especially against a really top City side, and that's their best back four, you would say, as well there. So it's going to be tough. But Ricky, anyone from City, well, obviously everyone all over the field for City is dangerous, but how are you feeling about the Doku versus Dalot link up? Because obviously Doku's very tricky winger, tough.
The other day said Grealish is injured, so is Grealish not even there? No. I think Grealish is one of the best players, despite all the great players that they've got. But Doku, obviously, a different style of winger, a bit trickier, dribbles it a bit more. He'll be an handful, but you know, you can only thank your lucky stars. I think that Grealish isn't there. I think he'll have a little bit more of a chance against Doku than he would have had against Grealish.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Grealish, I think Grealish is an absolutely top player. I really do. Top player. He knows when to pass, when to hold it. He's just brilliant.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. And then Lindelof, left back against Foden, he's going to have his work cut out, isn't he, Ricky?
His work cut out as well, yeah. They've all got the work cut out, haven't they? You know, I'm dreading it, really. I'm dreading it.
Yeah, but you've spoken very highly of Lindelof, haven't you? And said that he's done the simple things very well.
He's done all right at left back. He played well at centre back last week. Every time he plays, I think Lindelof does fine. I think he's underrated by many United fans. I think he's a proper decent performer, Lindelof.
Do you think come this summer, would you keep him?
Without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Ricky, thank you very much for your time. I want to get a prediction in from you before you go. Score prediction.
I'll give you the prediction with my heart.
Okay.
With my heart, I'm going to say it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
That's what I've gone with, Ricky. That's what I've gone with.
Okay, then I'll change it to, I'll do it with my head instead and say we'll get beat 3-0.
Ricky, you've just ruined it. You've ruined it. But thank you so much for calling in. We're going to miss you here on the forum as well. We really are. But, you know, it's either going to be one of them where later on you're thinking, oh, thank God I'm not on the forum, or I really wish I was on the forum today. So it depends which way it goes. But, yeah, enjoy the game and we'll see you soon.
Will do. See you now.
Thank you.
Take care.
Always good to hear from Ricky.
Yes. Oh, look, he's living the life, isn't he?
Yeah, look, I wish I did.
He's living the life.
Holidays as that guy. Honestly, that's what happens though when you.
I just hope. Listen, he said 3-0. I'm going to be upset if we concede 3 goals. I think 2 goals is my threshold.
Is your limit?
Yeah, is my limit. I don't want to see anything above 2. I'll be honest.
You could see a Faz breakdown on the forum later. It could be incoming.
Oh, don't. You know the crazy thing is I'm going to the game.
You going to the game?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, sneak me in with you. Damark says Ricky as elusive as Gary Birtle's opener. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Jeremiah Olvera says, here I was thinking of McTominay at striker to realise Bruno could play on the right, but regardless, come on United. Exactly, let's get behind the team today. Come on United. Mike B says, Rashford, better, bust a gut. I mean, Faz, with all the talk around Rashford, everything that kind of went on last week, the one thing he's got to do today is show the fans, you know, his actions are matching what he's saying and do the work. That's what people want.
Yeah. I don't doubt his commitment. I don't. He's a multi-millionaire playing football, which every kid dreams of. He's clearly committed.
It's the work rate that people want to see. It's the work
rate. Yeah. It's absolutely the work rate. It's the body language. It's the passion and desire. That's all it is.
Well, on that, let's get into our players to watch, Faz.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, in terms of our players to watch, I had a sneaky feeling McTominay was going to start today. So, obviously, I do these graphics before, well, our producer does them, so I won't take the credit. But I decide who's on the graphics before we do the build-up show for the players to watch. And I had a sneaky feeling that McTominay was going to start today, so I did have McTominay in. Everyone get your thoughts on this. I mean, Faz, could it be another one of the... I mean, Scott McTominay, I think it was at the Etihad last time, with like a last-minute goal to take it to 2-0. Was it at the Etihad? I think it was.
I don't remember. You're good at stuff like this.
In the Ollie days, and do you know he's got that in him. Like, do you expect a big performance from Scott today?
It has to be.
Can go one way or the other with Scott. It's either ghosting for 90 minutes or really plays an important role.
It has to be. I would have much more appreciated Eriksen playing there and Scott coming in second half, because I would have felt more like maybe if we see the game out for the first half and keep it 0-0, Scott could have helped us get a goal. But Scott starting is an interesting one because it affects other players on the pitch as well. Like Casemiro and Mino, how are they going to match up now in the midfield and where they're going to see? Scott, obviously, the way he's been playing much further up on the pitch, so he might get involved with the attacking side of things. But in this game, we need him more defending. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's partnering up with the other two in the defensive midfield and what exact role he's playing. Because I've not seen this obviously midfield before.
Well, Kobbie Mainoo's first Manchester derby. He's another player that I had to watch. His first Manchester derby, and he's obviously been one of our best players since he came into the team. How important could he be there today? Just some calmness, some coolness. When you're looking at keeping possession, he's the guy.
Yeah, it'll be good. But then this is a big ask for him as well. Like I said, I don't have any expectation from him. Just give me a good game, simple game. I'm more than happy with it. He's just an academy graduate who's come in. It's very easy to expect loads of things because you've seen him drop a shoulder, score a nice goal. You've seen him have a good few performances, but I'm absolutely putting no pressure on him. You know, it's a huge game. Every Manchester derby game on any given day will be a huge game, and it'll be spoken about for years and years, decades and decades. So I don't want to put too much pressure on him, honestly.
Do you know what's crazy as well in terms of you just look at our bench compared to City's bench, like it's craziness. And then, I mean, the odds are against us, but Kobbie Mainoo today, I think it's you know, it's great to see his progression in the team. I saw a little interview he did the other day. He speaks so highly and he speaks so well. Pep Guardiola was interested in him before he kind of broke onto the scene for Man United. So a really important player for us to have today, and the fact he's starting again shows his importance to Erik ten Hag. But what I thought was a really interesting point is someone in the chat actually said Ten Hag has no faith in his own signings. Like Amrabat and Anthony both nowhere to be seen in a huge game. It's like, you know...
But why you noticing this? It's happened before.
The only Ten Hag signings that's starting is Evans and Anna.
And Martinez when he's available.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or Højlund, obviously, when he's available.
And Højlund as well, yeah. That's it.
But yeah, it's a strange one. It's a strange one.
We say in the same breath, we say some signings work, some don't. So if Amrabat's not worked and Anthony's not worked, it's okay. Because Rasmus Højlund has worked, Martinez has worked, Evans is doing okay. So just go off with that.
Casemiro as well.
Casemiro as well, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Tracy Taylor, member for 40 months. Hi Beth, I'm so nervous. I just want this match over. My prayers are we can draw. OMG, help. Great show, guys. Tracy, I think you just summed up there how a lot of people are feeling. You're with us, we've got the content going, we've got build-up, we've got the watch-along, we've got final score, we've got the forum. I'm dreading the forum if we lose this game. But, yeah, we'll be here and hopefully we can get some sort of result.
Like, people always come on to me when I say, oh, I'm not feeling confident, but what's happened to you guys, like in the chat? I have to hold you guys accountable. Because you are the ones that tell us to be positive, and today you are the ones that are bringing all this cloud over us. You as well, Beth. You sometimes are sorry. Let's have it.
Yeah, I know, but I've got. You know, there's a point where it's being optimistic and being delusional. Do you know what I mean? There's a fine line.
And that's what I feel like when people talk about Erik ten Hag sometimes.
United have done this to me. They've dragged me down for years.
It's
and weeks
like I said, it's
and
the
years
derby game. Rashford loves scoring against big teams. That's how he made his name. Bruno Fernandes, don't forget, scored against Man City as well. So we always say Bruno he goes missing in big games. He scored in a big game before.
Yeah, he did. Scored in Manchester
Casemiro. You know, he's been absolutely...
The day where Faz is being positive, I like it.
Yeah, Casemiro's just scored, and did you see the celebration he did? It was going crazy.
I said Casemiro's probably our best...
One of our pivotal players.
He's our best... he's our most likely goal scorer today, I'd say.
Bar Rasmus Højlund, yeah.
Well, Rasmus isn't playing.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Today, in this game, he's the most likely option we have for a goal. So, yeah, it's just going to be tough. But we've got some statistics to bring in as well. Man City have won 5 of their past 6 games in all competitions against Manchester United. That's an embarrassing stat for us. We've also got Man City have scored a combined 10 goals in their past 2 home games against Man United. Another embarrassing stat for us. Man City are unbeaten in 35 home matches in all competitions, won 30, drawn 5. Manchester United have scored 18 goals in their past 8 league matches, as many as they've managed in their first 18 games of the season. My laptop has just died, but on that point, the one stat I would say on that is there is one stat: 115 charges to Man City, 0 to Manchester United.
Yeah.
That's the one that we outweigh. But in terms of looking at the stats going into this game, Faz, it's going to be tough, isn't it?
Very, 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 very. We're not going to have much of the ball. We're probably going to turn over possession quite a bit. They're probably going to control the ball in our half a lot more. We're definitely going to be facing a lot of crosses and shots. Onana's going to have a long day. Another positive is he's been making some really good saves. I'm really happy with some of the saves he's been making, some of the passes he's been making. I don't expect him to come, out of his line and join the centre backs today, but just continue that performance and keep making those saves today and help us. That's the key, really. But I'm feeling confident. I want to feel confident, even though my brain might tell me not to be. I want to feel confident because, like I say, it's a derby day, and you know me, I don't ever back down when it comes to playing Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City.
Yeah, I get that 100%, and that's what a fan should be. But
that's not how I'm saying. I was brought up.
The one thing as well, yeah, I get that. Haaland, like that celebration he did at Old Trafford, 3-0 win. He just he's so frustrating. He's a top player, but he's so frustrating. I would love nothing more for him to get no goals today, for Man United to win, and for him to be going off sulking, because he's so good, and when he's not playing for you, it's just frustrating. And like that celebration he did at Old Trafford, proper rubbed me up the wrong way. Yeah. So he's another one that, honestly, just.
Well, Rio Ferdinand was saying it to Vincent Kompany when Balotelli scored against Manchester United. He was celebrating in front of the Manchester United fans and taunting them. I was like, it's a derby. That's what it is. So we should use that as motivation and fill these guys in. And
I'd like to see United have that.
Do you know what I mean?
Have that kind of mindset, that battling mindset.
Rashford just said he remembers his first game against Liverpool and he was charging in at players, feeling like he's a fan. Why not do it today? After all those paragraphs that you put out, prove it to us. People doubt you, good. People believe in you, good, whatever. All those things, prove it today. Go and smash someone. Get a yellow card. Show us what you can do.
Like Joaquin says, I'm just going to go and smash into someone.
Yeah, just go into someone. If your colleague gets tackled, go and tackle someone else. It's the Manchester derby. You just said 2 weeks ago, whilst you were out enjoying, having fun, which is very good. You said you like to play in City and Liverpool. You think it gets you motivated. So show us what you can do today. This is your game. If this is any game to prove Marcus Rashford, it's today.
Well, I had Marcus Rashford on one of my players to watch, so I think you just explained what we want from him there, and he's scored in Manchester derbies before. Yes. He's ruled Manchester derbies before. I want to see some.
Scored in the one at home.
Yeah, last season he scored when he first broke onto the scene. Yeah. He's wearing number 39, I remember. But I just want to see that fight, that Mancunian in him today, and you know, go and give it a bit. We have Landon Scott is the modern day Darren Fletcher. He scores today. Love that positivity. Jake Marshall says Casemiro and Rashford to score. Pep smells it. Pass it on. Legendary Villain says, if you guys think we are not getting annihilated today, you are delusional. I'll be happy with 3 or 4-0 defeat. And leave the Etihad. Get out of here. You'll be happy with a 3 or 4-0 defeat. Come off it. He says, wonder how Mark will spin this one for Ten Hag. Blame the players. Lost in the Woods, Alvin and Jason said, welcome to United Star Members Club. Thank you for all your super chats coming in. Now I'm reading that one back. Modern day Darren Fletcher. I mean, Darren Fletcher was a very, very good player for us. But Scott McTominay, he's got something in his locker.
Every manager likes him. It's so weird. Every United manager. Jose Mourinho gave him an award that didn't exist.
I know.
Every manager, and it must be something that he's doing. We only see the players fraction of the time, which is the game day. Managers are seeing them every single day. There's clearly something, and I said this season, you know, not because Ricky's influenced me, but Scott McTominay has grown on me a lot. We've got 5 minutes left of the show. Everyone, get your last super chat, saying your last words of wisdom. Let us know what you are thinking. Please hit a like on the video for United to win today. And last player to watch that I had on my list was our captain, Bruno Fernandes. Oof. His name has been in the headlines. It's been all over social media for the last few weeks. A lot of United fans really frustrated for him. Some United fans still backing him. I'll give you one thing. Jamal Musiala has rejected his Bayern Munich.
God. Not this again, Faz. Jamal Musiala is a great player.
No, he's exceptional.
I get that.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with Bruno.
70 million for Bruno Fernandes comes in this summer.
No.
And you can use that money for Jamal Musiala.
It doesn't. Bruno going and Musiala coming in is two things that don't coincide with me.
How?
Like it's just different. Like it just because me saying I wouldn't take 70 mil for Bruno doesn't mean I wouldn't want Musiala.
Sure.
By the way, Musiala's not stepping foot near Old Trafford.
He's stepping foot with Ineos.
Because I really like the player. I think he's good. But why would he want to come to us right now?
Because of Ineos. Same like Omar Barada. Why would he want to come here?
Okay, but personally for me, obviously I'm never going to say no to Musiala, but that doesn't mean I want Bruno to go. Bruno's our captain. Bruno will run through brick walls for this club. He's had a poor season, I admit that. But the reason why he's a player to watch for me today is because, you know, he has an opportunity here to kind of put in a good performance, which is very well needed for him. And he needs to be a captain today because we need that leader on the pitch.
I'm telling you, I really hope he scores. I had nothing more I want.
It's not as
or put a good performance in.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Put a good performance in. Nothing more. I would love to sit here and give him all the praise. Nothing more. But I don't know the position that he looks like he's going to be playing today. What is he going to do from the right wing? He's not going to be creative from the right wing. And I hope it's in the middle and it's Garnacho on the right and Rashford on the left because it gives us the best option. But we'll have to wait and see.
It is tough because, you know, Bruno's not a right winger. If he plays on the right, it's hard to manage your expectations of what you're going to get from him. But we'll see. We'll see. The Irish Zombie says kid is playing career modes. Needs to get a check. I don't know what that means. I don't know who you're talking about there. But thank you for your super chat. I mean, Sad Sack said Musiala will cost over 100 million.
Yeah, that's good. Get 70 million for Bruno. Add in a 40 mil. On top of that, and get Musiala.
You don't sell a player that's, you know, your captain and is somebody...
I mean, we wanted to sell Harry Maguire.
Yeah, but come on, it's different. It's different for
I'm
us.
just saying.
People who do want to sell Bruno, respect your opinion. That's your opinion. And then there's a lot of people out there. I feel like I'm in the minority now.
He was signed under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for a reason. For a specific reason, to play a specific role, and we saw that under... If Ole Gunnar was managing any football club right now, I bet you he would come in for Bruno Fernandes, because he fits Ole Gunnar's football perfectly, counter-attacking. Bruno Fernandes in a counter-attacking football is absolutely unstoppable. You can't stop Bruno Fernandes when it's counter-attacking football. But when it's Erik Ten Hag football, sorry, Jamal Musiala, Xavi Simons...
Jamal Musiala is a top player.
He's a world-class player. He's an exceptional talent. If you're going to build a team, I mean, Ineos, do something for me.
But we'll see what happens in the summer. But this is the Manchester derby, and we're getting behind our players. We're backing the players we currently have. Score prediction, Faz. And get your score predictions into.
Yeah, I went with... I don't normally hide anything I say, but I went 2-0 City in the group chat. But I'm changing it now.
Okay. You're getting more positive.
Yeah. I woke up upset. I don't know why. I just woke up upset. But I'm going 1-0 United.
1-0 United. I would absolutely love it. I'd absolutely love it.
1-0 United.
Keep City out and score a goal. You're asking for a lot.
Yeah, I am, Anna.
Legendary Villain says, Beth, you are more bothered about Bruno leaving than the team advancing. Leopard do not change spots. Rashford will have the same performance as he always had. Stop hoping if you want change. I mean, appreciate your super chat and your opinion. Obviously, I want the team to always be playing better, but just my opinion on players. But thank you for that. My score prediction.
Yes, please.
1-1.
It's like Ricky said,
That's with my heart, and I put that in the group chat as well. Realistically, City are probably going to win, let's be honest, but I'm going with 1-1. I can never go against my team. It's just not in my blood. It's not in the way I am. But I understand people predicting that we're going to lose this game because of the odds, but I just can't do that. And Faz, before Mark goes live, because I'll get word when he does that, we need a Derby Day speech, full of positivity and passion.
You see this? Old Trafford. You see this? Some of the legends that played in this club. Yeah. Today, you perform on this pitch, not for the fans, not for these guys, but for yourself. Yeah, for yourself. Millions of people are going to be watching you, and guess what? They already feel like you've lost the game, and the game has not even started. So you start this game, and from minute 1, you show these bastards what you're made of. Yeah? You show them. This man is still alive. He's still alive, yeah? You dare disrespect this man. So go out there and show these lot what you're made of. You can do it. If you believe it, you can do it. Come on, United.
Come on, United. Let's go. Let's go. You're up for it now.
Yes.
You got yourself up for it. You got yourself up. That was more like it, Faz. That was more like it. Ash G said, Bruno's had his time. Let's welcome change. I mean, let's end on Faz's speech. Take us into the derby. Mark is now live, everyone. What shall they infiltrate the chat with?
Bus. The red bus, because we need to park it.
Yeah, we'll infiltrate it with loads of buses. And let's just all hope we're in this together. Love you lots, guys. We'll see you on the forum later. Mark's live now on the watch along. Final scores, everything. Come on, United. Let's go.